March 11, 2018. This video is called "You Wouldn't Have Even Known It Was the 7-Year Anniversary of Fukushima." And the reason why is there's a purge on the truth of Fukushima, and that's sad because we really need to get the word out and fix this mess. And the reason why I say it is because it's going to take a couple hundred years to probably actually do anything with this site, the world's largest nuclear industrial accident that is going to change the life of everything on this planet, with it being an extinction level event. And making it up as they go along is basically what TEPCO is doing. This picture was taken on 3/11/2018, which is basically 7 years to the day of when this all began, how it turned humanity and our DNA upside down. And this is the guy that's got blood on his hands, Shinzo Abe. Because of him, there's going to be a lot of sick puppies out there, and instead of coming out and telling the truth, they just lie and make stuff up, and they're just silent. We don't know what the heck is actually the answer of what's actually happening over at the plant. Here is 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds, which that's kind of a lucky number. It's kind of bizarre that I just happened to record the sunset at Fukushima on the 11th, and that's the amount that it was recorded. That's a sunset at Fukushima. This is a cool watercolor that I paid someone to do. This is going to end up being the album cover. I released The Jig Is Up. Check that out. And interesting, The Jig Is Up. What that means is the deception revealed. Now, what's happening is it's a purge. It's an abrupt or violent removal of a person from a place or organization. And that person and entity is Dana Durnford. If you go and search Beautiful Girl by Dana, his original YouTube channel that had 22,000 subscribers, look at what comes up. Fukushima, Dana Durnford, scam, new criminal charges, frauds, liars, scammers exposed. Now all that's coming up is these anti-Dana Durnford videos. Isn't that kind of interesting? This guy called Connecting the Snots, it looks like, maybe. So the purge is they don't want us to know what's actually going on over there. So what he had to do is he created a new channel, the Nuclear Proctologist, until he's able to live stream. This is where you're going to catch him. And he's been doing shows for close to every day for the past 7 years on Fukushima, getting the facts and the truth out there. But they're trying to shut him down.
March 11th, 2018, the 7th anniversary of the Fukushima's extinction event. These are nuclear meltdown in Japan that are right on the ocean. Chernobyl wasn't on the ocean. We have a live show all day. We're going to break it down with incredible amount of information and documentation. Unbelievable, unprecedented amount of information. And in about 30 minutes the show starts, runs all day. It's live all day. And tomorrow we'll upload it to my site. I can't do the stream on my site anymore because 11 days before the 7th anniversary of the nuclear meltdowns, they took down my site. And I cover pretty well Fukushima extensively only, per se. I broach other subjects to bring people to the conversation, but they took me down so we couldn't have this conversation. So 30 minutes time, the live show starts. And then all day, the link is below. It don't cost you nothing, and you learn an incredible amount of information. Please join the live show. Hugs for everybody.
Also, a big site is anynews.com. Now, he would just source out stories on Fukushima, and for some reason now they've been trying to figure out who is running that website. Now, what happened was when you go onto the website, it's offline until the site owner reactivates the site because the domain is suspended. They want to find out who is the site owner. Now, if you Google Fukushima 30 years later, because we're on year 7, which just seems like a blink of an eye. By the time you know it's going to be 10, 20, 30 years, they're not looking for at least 50 years until they think that they're going to actually start cleaning up over there, according to their own deadline. So I think that they're just making it up as they go along. And look at the headlines if you look up from as of 2 days ago and 11 hours. 7 years on, why hasn't Japan learned from Fukushima? 7 years later, contradictory responses to Fukushima. Clearing up the radioactive waste that was Fukushima Daiichi 7 years on. It's still an ongoing fiasco. Here's their live camera. And all they basically are doing is like putting agents down so the wind won't knock the stuff away. They're pretty good at putting covers on buildings, but there's very little activity that you see over there. And even according to their own little video here, it doesn't look like Fukushima Daiichi is going to be cleaned up for a long time. This is the timeline according to TEPCO. Look at these numbers, the years 2020, 2026. Completion of decommissioning, they're looking at 2050. Look at the millions of gallons of radioactive water that they're going to dump into the ocean. And this is a fairy tale to think that they're going to actually clean up that mess, because it's actually an impossible task. This is their so-called deadline. They're looking at 30 to 40 years later is going to be the completion of fuel debris removal. And it's just, they're just documenting this nightmare. So basically, if you want to know the annual volume of solid waste from nuclear power, just from since 1991 to 2016, right here, 250,000 number of stored drums as of the end of 2016. And if you want to know the amount of spent fuel storage between Fukushima, Daiichi, and this guy right here, this is the number of assemblies. I think there's 90 fuel rods in an assembly. They have a total at Fukushima close to 17,000 assemblies of spent fuel. So it just goes to show that nuclear is a dead industry, and it's dead because it's probably going to kill the planet off. But there is a purge going on, so support Dana. When Energy News comes back, support them. Donate to them, spread the word, share their audio, their videos, and their articles to get the truth out on Fukushima Daiichi and the mess that nuclear has created. So now, again, like I said, you wouldn't known that today is the 7-year anniversary of Fukushima because I didn't hear not one thing in the news today.